Hey Sagittarius, it's Romy here. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in this month. It's your October 2020 soul story. So my readings are blends of the astrological influences, working with the tarot and connecting with my guides. And together I intuit messages, information and guidance to help you navigate the weeks ahead. If it resonates, it is a general reading, but I do appreciate your feedback, your likes, your comments, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And you can also go ahead and join me for the extended version of this reading. The information for that is in the description box and the comment section below. I hope you enjoy the information that comes through, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming out for you in October. Let's take a look. Okay, Sagittarius, so October energy. How do you measure the power of a single thought that you have? This month in Libra season, as we activate your 11th house and hopes and dreams, and we welcome 2 magical full moons, this quality of being able to manifest things beyond what you ever expected to be possible is really ripe and available to you. This is where the guides want you to have your focus, because what we can expect from this month of October is a time of intensity, a time of completion, of closure, of things coming to fruition, of having to let go and release, of coming up against some powerful opposition, certainly some drama, and even some uncertainty and confusion. And yet, as we open up the reading with the alchemist, the magician, what you are able to do with that focus, Sagittarius, is to tune in to the layer of energy that is so present through October, that gets you to imagine what anything is possible, that in spite of the restrictions you are making way for something extraordinary, that you are holding on to that sense of optimism, you are holding on to that energy of your glass being half full, and you are deciding that anyone or anything that no longer supports that level of energy that you want to vibrate on, that you want to surround yourself with, is not the direction in which you want to move towards. So these 2 full moons, one on the 1st of the month in the sign of Aries, a fellow fire sign, and then on the 31st, very powerful day, very rare, that blue moon on the same day as Samhain on Halloween in Taurus. You know, it's almost like they are holding this sacred energy vortex for us in October, and likely to really give you a bit of a replay in terms of the fullness of what you've experienced in 2020, but from the vision of a very almost scientific but also alchemical process, so that you have witnessed yourself, the growth that has taken place, and that you're now looking at further changes and adjustments that you want to make, but you're coming at it from a whole new level of possibility. This is the month, Sagittarius, where we want you to see yourself through completely new eyes, okay? Pluto moves direct on the 4th of the month. You will be understanding more clearly than ever what you have gained and the transformation that has taken place within you, okay? What does that bring about? A new level of emotional security within yourself. It's almost like you're putting a powerful new foundation in place with which you can build upon. And there's something here that's saying you want to sell that kind of version of your best life back to yourself. Do you know? It's like you are in the energy of convincing yourself, of demanding from yourself that you will only look towards the best possible outcome of situations. You know, it's very easy to slip into that very negative, pessimistic outlook with so much disruption and volatility happening in and around you, and yet that 11th house energy is just calling you towards those hopes and dreams and saying, you know what, with focus you can build this, you can find that greatness within you, you can move towards things in your life that you want to manifest and draw in. Now, Mercury moves retrograde on the 14th of the month. We're going to be in shadow right from the beginning of October. Perhaps you are going to be returning to creative ideas, to inspirations that you've had that maybe didn't get off the ground, and now there's the opportunity to reflect, find a new approach and do it better. You know, that Four of Coins coming through is giving you something sustainable and something tangible with which to build upon. And I think there's something that's probably been kind of working through your subconscious and coming into your conscious awareness, you know, maybe over the last few weeks. And it's powerful this month. You know, these two full moons are about bringing that manifestation into your physical reality. Now, yes, there is disruption all around it, so it might not turn up in the way that you kind of anticipated. And yes, there may be some compromises or sacrifices along the way, but ultimately you're being invited to kind of really keep a strong focus and sense of self about what it is that you're trying to achieve, because October can start to deliver that for you. So here we've got the full moon energy coming in, makes sense with these powerful energies kind of holding October for us. There's wisdom to tap into here, and it's not all going to be through what you see with your physical eyes. You're going to have to go deeper. You're going to have to read between the lines, and you're going to have to operate in an environment that feels at times confusing, conflicting, uncertain. And what you must remember is that the one true certainty, the one thing that you can rely on through this time is yourself. It's what you feel, what your gut is telling you, what your guides are moving you and directing you towards, Sagittarius, okay? If you're coming up against individuals or situations or environments that feel less than clear, and you're having to try to make decisions and choices without all of the information, okay? Understand that things are righting themselves as we move between now and the end of the year. So yes, Mercury retrograde can kind of put that additional haze in front of us, and you know, sometimes we can make decisions from an emotional perspective without really thinking things through in a practical way. In spite of that, with that moon energy kind of sitting alongside the Four of Coins here, I'm feeling like you've got a grounded enough grasp of what's going on, what's important, and really where you want to be, that I don't see you getting kind of fully caught in the slipstream of that type of an energy that could pull you down. In fact, I see you trying to work to harness that moon energy much more from a manifestation perspective, okay? Now, yes, we could say that the alchemist and the moon together are sort of bringing that sleight of hand that I'm not sure I can trust you. And perhaps for some of you, because we're looking at that material aspect of things, there may be some questions coming up in and around finances, in and around, you know, material abundance, or something that's, you know, of that practical nature for you, that you're not sure about what's really being expressed, you're not sure or clear. And again, if that is the case, you must seek counsel from your own higher self. And if you need to delay decisions until we're clear of some of this energy, then so be it. You know, you will be your own best guru right now, okay? Hierophant energy coming through. Does link into the sign of Taurus, and we do have that full moon in Taurus coming at the end of the month, which, you know, I think there is going to be a bit of a firm focus in and around what's manifesting for you from a fiscal perspective, okay? Remember at the beginning of the month, and, you know, whenever you're tuning into this reading, Sagittarius, like, don't discount the power of your mind, you know, this understanding of that measure of the single thought that you have, how your beliefs, your attitudes shape and have consequences, you know, not just for you, but for the collective. It's like, realize how powerful you are in all of this, okay? This is where so much of the learning of 2020 is coming home to roost, okay? This is a month where you really get to see or feel or sense into, you know, the new energies that are coming into this new earth, okay? The veil is at its thinnest. Your signs, your validation, your intuitive hits, your psychic awareness, your dream state, all of these things amped up to a level of intensity that you may never have experienced before. That could feel quite overwhelming, you know? But take that grounded energy from the Hierophant, okay? Take the higher road, take the wisdom and the knowing, and commit to that soul journey for yourself. That's what's going to make the difference. Now, where we're being invited to look at the theme of commitment, all right? Because I'm kind of feeling that Hierophant, the energy of commitment's coming through. So either someone's asking you to commit or you're looking for commitment, all right? And because we've got a little bit of this air of confusion coming through, right? It's not to say that this can't happen. I kind of just get the feeling though that there's something about more information needs to come to light, okay, before we can start to find some meaningful progress with this, okay. In a certain regard, we also look to the Chariot and see that it's kind of powering away from the Hierophant here, okay. So there are two things that are coming through for me with this for you, Sagittarius. The first is that you may well be letting go, surrendering, releasing yourself or wanting to from a commitment, something that no longer serves you, and you're ready to move to the next level, okay? And you're going to be really decisive about that. Again, we've got this full moon illuminated behind the figure here. The horses and the person absolutely determined in knowing exactly where they're going. So even in spite of the environment around you that might not be clear, there will be certainty that is emerging within you, okay? And if you feel that the time to act is now, then you must trust that. So even though we have Mars retrograde, we have Mercury retrograde, we also have Pluto, Jupiter and Saturn now direct. So you must take the bead of energy that is applicable to you. And remembering we're moving directly toward eclipse season as well. And of course that South Node in your sign. So you're also going to start to see a revisitation of perhaps some themes that were in and around you during the months of June and July, okay? And maybe we need to return to these. The other thing though is that, you might be seeking to move away from a person or someone you perhaps feel is moving away from you. Again, we've got Seven of Cups coming through here. Deeply spiritual energies working with you at this time, helping you to navigate your way through any of the fog and the haze, delivering you new choices though that I think are quite exciting. But I have a sense that those decisions are also going to bring about a little bit of uncertainty. It's almost like maybe you're not fully trusting yourself in what you're receiving, because it's coming through in a different way than you've ever experienced before. If you've always made decisions in a certain way, it's almost like October flips the script a little bit. And remember, like we said, it's a time to see yourself through new eyes, which means that you have to embrace all of that. Now, the 11th house also rules technology, it rules groups and friendships. And so, again, this could be about moving away from certain individuals, certain communities, certain groups that no longer support the person that you've become or where you see yourself moving towards. It's okay to let people go that you feel are not heading in the same direction as you, okay? But of course, retrograde might bring back people that actually you've been estranged or disconnected from, and then kind of throw a bit of a spanner in the works because you weren't expecting that, and perhaps that leads to some changes or adjustments that you need to make in your planning, okay? What's really clear with this read so far, though, Sagittarius, is that in spite of the kind of slightly nebulous energy, that confusion, that almost deceptive, I can't quite get a handle on the agenda right now, you also have some very clear planning and kind of grounded directive that's saying we can't let that stop us. We mustn't use that as a reason to avoid the work, to avoid what needs to come next, to not celebrate and to start to embody all of the things that we've learned, okay? 10 of Wands coming through, because I think genuinely the enormity of perhaps what you've been through the course of 2020 is landing quite powerfully in October, because like I said, it's almost like a mini replay. Not to say that you're going to be experiencing every single thing all over again, but it's almost like the review of it in your mind, in your soul, is kind of just like showing you the complexity of it, but also just how meaningful it's been and how it shaped you and changed you. And yes, there are still a lot of things that need to be dealt with. And I think that's the other thing that's going to come through quite strongly for you through this month of October, Sagittarius. In that revision time, and in that slight uncertainty, it's going to
cause you to have to really address certain things and just go, okay, well, I have to look at what I can control right now, and that's going to be within me. That's going to be the things that are immediately in my environment, because if there are shifts and changes happening in the world, and these 2 full moons are kind of pinning me at either end of this month and saying, you know, we're going to shine this light so brightly, you're not going to be able to avoid this, you know. And so that could feel like a little heavy, a little dense, and almost just like, I'm not sure I can keep going in this endurance race that you've got me on right now. But rest assured, you have all of the tools, the techniques, the energies to be able to come through this, and actually come through it with an attitude that is even more expansive and even more limitless in what might be possible. So the 2 of Swords coming in, and what I like here is that we have all of this beautiful white space around this figure. Yes, there's a decision and a choice that must be made, okay? And what I'm picking up with this is that you are being given the time that you need to make that, okay? So this is not about feeling rushed or pushed or coerced. And if you feel that, you know, if there are energies or people around you that are kind of trying to put that burden upon you, then this reader suggests that you have the control and the power, and you are in a position to be able to stand up and say, actually, no, I need more time. I need to figure this out. I need to process this, okay? 2 of Swords links into the sign of Libra, okay? And so I feel this is going to be during this Libra season before the sun moves into Scorpio on the 22nd. Perhaps in and around that new moon time on the 16th. We also have Venus moving into Libra on the 28th, okay? Venus loves to be in the sign of Libra. It feels very at home there, natural ruler of the sign. And so for some of you, and you know, with regards to relationships, with regards to the way that you are being materially rewarded, the abundance that you're welcoming into your life, you know, there's more balance that wants to step forward for you in this way. But again, perhaps there's a choice or a decision that needs to be made. Those 2 full moons are going to ask for, unyieldingly, by the way, a surrender and a letting go of something. You know, you're not going to be able to come out and, you know, of the month of October without making peace and surrendering powerfully into the release of something, letting something close, dissolve, come to that moment of profound ending, you know. But the story isn't finished. The story isn't finished yet, okay? The sacrifice and the surrender is really poignant with that Hanged Man. But what's so beautiful here, if we look at the moon, the 7 of Cups, the Hanged Man, there's this flow of divine guidance that's coming down here, all right? You've got the wisdom and the manifesting ability of that magician, all of these supportive guides working to help you unlock something within yourself, because that's where the power is, that's where the potential is, that's where you get to realize these hopes and dreams in a brand new way. So it's a recognition of all of the work that you've already done, and then how you're going to apply that through this month of October in spite of the chaos that is really going to lead you to something quite extraordinary in terms of the way that you see yourself, Sagittarius. That's what is coming through really powerfully. So let's take a look at these oracle cards and just see how they're reflecting into your main reading. Freedom. Okay, so we can look that this figure almost looks like she's in the gilded cage. So, you know, perhaps some of you are finding yourself in situations that to the outside world might look favourable. You know, they might look, why would they possibly want to free themselves or come away from that environment? But only you know what it's like to walk in your shoes. Only you know the impact that that is having on you. And everything about the month of October is the universe responding to awaken you to your power, to awaken you to the ability to help you to measure the power of those thought forms that you have. And we can see the beautiful dragonfly here symbolizing that time of transformation. What I also love is that there's a dove here. So this is a very peaceful experience that you're having as you come to terms with what it's going to take to release yourself from this cage. Now, if it's not a physical set of circumstances, certainly for some of you it might be what's going on mentally, emotionally, spiritually for you, okay? The way that you are working with the energy and what that means to you is having such a profound effect through this month, okay? And what freedom looks like to you, what it feels like to you, will be different to what it is for anybody else. But really linking into that central card of the Chariot, you know, that's what we want to focus upon, because that is you moving forward. It is you overcoming the odds. Overcoming the odds. It doesn't matter how stacked against you things feel, right? This month of October has this air of magic, and we're moving towards this eclipse season, and you know 2020 has already showed you that anything is possible. So don't put limits, don't define yourself, don't define what you want, don't try to second guess what you think the universe can deliver to you in a very, very short period of time. Okay, so just further enhanced by the Moonology card here, surrender to the divine full moon. I mean, this full moon in Aries activating your 5th house of creativity, of passion, you know. There's something about what are you passionate about? This is what we need to return to. Because even then, as we make our way toward that Taurus full moon on the 31st, and remember, you know, so in Halloween, Day of the Dead, this is a time for celebration. It's a time to celebrate our life, to celebrate our connection to the spirit world, you know, to the time of harvest, the time of everything coming to that point of completion. And so that 6th house energy is how you want to show up, the way you want to be of service, how you take the best of you and bring it out to the world in a way that really honours everything that you've become. But that surrender, again, linking into the Hanged Man here. A very sort of Neptunian influence that's coming through with this here. And so I do think some of you are also set to have some amazing creative ideas, really linking into your own soul song in a new way. So these are the Halloween cards that I just thought would be fun for this month. So you have Werewolf, exploring wildness. And let's face it, you know, full moon energies can bring out the wild. They can bring out that shadow quality. And there is something about the month of October that is volatile. You know, we have that second Mars squaring Pluto on the 9th of the month. Second of 3 back to August 13th is where you need to pay attention in terms of what it might be highlighting for you. We have a lot of opposition and squares turning up in October again with these full moons, so you know you might be coming up against difficult aspects of yourself or others, but perhaps there's something about that wild nature that's going to help you to actually just channel any frustration, any anger, any opposition, any restriction, any limitation, and actually create something really unique and special and meaningful for you moving forward, okay? So exploring your wildness, let that play out for you in a way that you're being true to yourself, yeah? So Sagittarius, this is a general reading for the month of October, and I hope it has resonated. If so, please do drop me your feedback. I love to hear from you. If you'd like to join me for the extended version of this reading, we're going to go ahead and pull some additional clarifying cards right now, and we'll go to a little bit more in-depth detail to see what else we can pull out for you. But the first thing I'd invite you to do is just to focus on a question that may not have come up in this general spread, and we'll pull a couple of cards for it and we'll explore that more in the extended. You can find the details for the extended reading in the comment section and the description box underneath the reading. Yeah, so let's just clarify this main 9 card now. So we begin with the Alchemist, and we've got the 8 of Wands. This is for me really about you working with the energy, the way that you're moulding the clay of your own life right now. Also news and information coming towards you. How you deal with the setbacks, the disappointments, and again, Magician, beautiful. If this is somebody, you know, who's a little shape-shifty, and you're not quite trusting of, we know what's going to come through powerfully for you this month. A way for you to release, to find freedom, to move forward, to walk away, to build yourself a more meaningful, sustainable, emotionally secure future where you get back to fall back in love with who you are, what's important to you. That Six of Cups, again, just connecting into things from the past. I think that Mercury retrograde is going to be really interesting. You know, in your 12th house, it's definitely inviting some healing to come in. The moon bringing in that Two of Swords, so that's the second time that's come up. So definitely a choice that's going to come to light. Perhaps there's news and information that is going to cause a bit of a redirect for you. We've got the energy of the star, could well be an Aquarius energy here that you might be dealing with. But again, just that link to the 11th house. Four of Wands here. Okay, Tower energy. To be expected really in this month of October, because it is so intense. It's almost like the energy needs to combust, because we're cracking something open to invite in what has never been before. Two of Cups with that Chariot there. Beautiful. Okay, could be an earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn, where there's a little bit of this uncertainty coming up as well, or perhaps in and around your area of work or the purpose that you have coming through. What feels heavy, Sagittarius? That's what you're going to be invited to put down and let go of. And I see you being brave enough to do it. Lots of beautiful earth energies coming through for you. So I think if you are very concerned or focused upon, you know, abundance through this month of October, then there's some good ideas, inspirations and opportunities that are going to begin to emerge for you. It's not a time where you're meant to feel restricted. It's a time for you to play with new possibility. I mean, you literally are like running towards something here. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to wish you beautiful blessings for this month of October. And if you're joining me for the extended, I look forward to going a little bit deeper into this reading to help you. And I will speak to you again next month. Take good care. Bye for